A beautiful woman with a sweet smile walks into a luxurious jewelry store. Her eyes are sparkling with joy and excitement. She approaches the counter where an unsuspecting man awaits her arrival. Their eyes meet and sparks fly. The man's heart skips a beat as he watches her pick out a stunning diamond ring. He knows in that moment he must do everything in his power to win her over. But as the story unfolds, we learn that her intentions may not be what they seem, and the man's life will soon take a terrifying turn. Welcome to our channel, where we bring you the most thrilling and suspenseful stories from around the world. Today, we will take you on a journey filled with deceit, danger, and unexpected twists that will leave you on the edge of your seat. So buckle up and prepare yourself for an unforgettable ride. The shop was filled with diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. It looked like a cave where fairies kept their treasure. The girl's eyes sparkled like the jewels, but she wasn't looking at them. She was looking at him. Her smile was sweet like honey, but her eyes were sharp like a hawk's. She had come to this shop with a plan, and nothing would stop her from executing it. He didn't know any of this, though. All he saw was a beautiful woman with a sweet smile, and he wanted to make her happy. He was a simple man who worked hard and played by the rules. He had never had much use for fancy things, but for her, he would break his own rules. He would do whatever it took to get her the perfect ring. As she moved closer, her perfume filled his senses, and he felt a sudden rush of desire. Her skin was soft like silk, and her touch sent shivers down his spine. He knew in that moment that he had found someone special. He couldn't explain it, but he felt like he had known her forever. She tried to hide it, but he saw the determination in her eyes. He could tell that she wasn't just looking for a pretty bauble to adorn her finger. She was looking for something special, something that would make a statement. And he knew he had just the thing for her. It was an antique engagement ring that had been in the shop for years. It was crafted in white gold and platinum and featured a large emerald-cut diamond surrounded by smaller diamonds that sparkled like stars. It was the most beautiful ring he had ever seen, and he knew it was the perfect choice for her. As he handed it to her, he felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. This was more than just a sale. This was a moment that would change both of their lives forever. He watched as she slipped the ring on her finger and admired it in the mirror. Her face lit up with joy, and she turned to him and gave him the sweetest smile he had ever seen. In that moment, he knew he had made the right choice. He had made her happy, and that was all that mattered. As she left the shop, he couldn't help but feel a sense of loss. He had enjoyed her company, and he hoped that he would see her again. But deep down, he knew that their paths were about to diverge, and he would likely never see her again. He was wrong. She returned the next day and the day after that, and soon she became a regular at the shop. They talked for hours, and he learned that her name was Isabella. She was an artist and a traveler who loved to explore the world. She was intelligent and witty, and he was completely captivated by her. He started to develop feelings for her, but he knew that she was out of his league. He was just a simple shopkeeper while she was a successful artist with a life full of adventure. But he couldn't help but dream that one day she might choose him. One day, Isabella came into the shop with a mysterious air about her. She told him that she was leaving on a trip around the world, and she asked him to get her a special gift from each country she visited. She gave him a list of countries and a small suitcase. Then she said goodbye and left. He was disappointed that she was leaving, but he was also excited to travel the world on her behalf. He set off on his journey, determined to find the perfect gifts for her. He traveled to exotic locations and experienced different cultures. He met new people and learned new languages, and he searched high and low for the perfect gifts to please Isabella. But as the weeks went by, he started to feel a sense of dread. He missed Isabella terribly, and he didn't know when he would see her again. He started to regret leaving the shop and going on this crazy adventure. When he finally returned home, he was exhausted and disillusioned. But he had the perfect gifts for Isabella, and he couldn't wait to show them to her. But as soon as he opened the suitcase, his blood ran cold. The gifts were gone. Someone had stolen them. He was devastated. He had worked so hard to get these gifts for Isabella, and now they were gone. He rushed to tell her, but when he got to her apartment, he found out that she had disappeared. He was heartbroken. He didn't know where she had gone or why she had taken his gifts. He was desperate to find her, and he put up posters and asked everyone he knew if they had seen her. But there was no sign of Isabella. He was starting to lose hope. Then one day, he got a call from the police. They had found Isabella's body in a remote location. She had been murdered. He was shocked and devastated. He couldn't believe that someone would hurt Isabella. He went to the police station to identify her body, and he was horrified by what he saw. She was beautiful even in death, but there was a coldness in her eyes that he had never seen before. The police were unable to find the killer, and the case went cold. But he never forgot Isabella. He still thinks about her often, and he wonders what really happened to her. Some nights he has nightmares about her, and he can hear her laughing in his dreams. He knows that she's haunting him, and he can't escape her ghost. Years have passed since Isabella's death, but the pain is still fresh in his heart. He still loves her, and he still misses her. He wishes that he had never met her, because then he wouldn't have to live with the guilt and the shame that followed him everywhere he went. He was a kind and gentle man who never meant to hurt anyone. But Isabella had seen something in him that others didn't, and she had used it against him. He had never been able to understand why she had chosen him, why she had smiled at him the way she did, why she had touched him and made him feel so alive. Now he knows the truth. She had been using him all along. She had used his kindness and his naivety to get what she wanted, and when she was done with him, she had thrown him away like garbage. He is haunted by the memory of her laughter, the sound that once brought him so much joy. Now it's a constant reminder of his pain and his loss. He can't sleep at night, and when he closes his eyes, he sees the darkness in Isabella's eyes. He is trapped in a nightmare that he can't wake up from. He is a prisoner of his own mind, and he will never be free of Isabella's ghost. Her beauty had been a trap, a way to lure him into her web of deceit. He had been so blinded by her charm that he hadn't seen the danger signs. He had been naive to think that she was as innocent as she appeared, that her smile was genuine and her eyes were filled with love for him. He had been wrong. Her eyes had held a darkness that he hadn't seen, a darkness that had consumed him and led him to his doom. He had been too trusting, too willing to believe in her innocence. And now he had paid the price. Her laughter echoed in his nightmares, a mocking reminder of his foolishness. He had been too quick to judge, too eager to believe that she was the woman of his dreams. And now he had paid the ultimate price. He had lost everything because of her, his business, his reputation, his very soul. He was left with nothing but the memories of a love that had never been real, a love that had been nothing more than a game to her. And as he struggled to come to terms with his loss, he realized that he would never be the same again. He was broken beyond repair, shattered by the realization that he had been so wrong about her. Her betrayal had been swift and brutal, leaving him wounded and desperate to understand why she had done it. But as the days turned into weeks and the pain refused to go away, he knew that he had to move on. It was the only way to honor Isabella's memory, to keep her spirit alive in his heart. He had to find a way to forgive her, to let go of the anger and resentment that had been consuming him. He had to learn to accept the darkness within himself, to embrace the shadows that had been cast upon him. He had to find a way to love again, to trust again, to hope again. It was the only way to break free from the chains that had been holding him back, to set himself free from the prison that he had built around his heart. He had to find a way to move on, to let go of the past and embrace the future. It was the only way to honor Isabella's memory, to keep her spirit alive in his heart.